One down. Lurker is Frank. What's up, Frank? What's up, Frank? Frank. Crooked soft baits don't matter. I'll tell you it does matter, so I regain my credibility. Right, Frank? Burns, you'll be proud. I'm cutting my sandpaper into nice, neat little squares. Burns was not lurking. He was not lurking. He is not the lurker. What's everybody doing? Burns and Frank always be lurking. Always be lurking. I gotta have like all this. I do just to sand baits. I sadly enough need like 3 different styles of sandpaper because I use like a 320 to take any like little goobers out that I might happen to see and kind of smooth things out and shape things. Now I'll go over it 500. That'll kind of clean everything up and give me something to paint on. Then I'll go over Schoolmaster. What's up? Go over it with the red pad to get all the little weird radiuses and nooks and crannies that sandpaper doesn't hit. Frank, you must go what? Because you're on my streams a fair amount. Have you not been to sleep yet? When do you sleep? I don't have enough 320 burns. I ran out. So I'm using 500, but I'm using the 320 that I do have to start. These aren't too bad to sand. It is odd not having lips. Frank don't need any sleep. Have a big code case to write up. That sounds shitty for whoever is getting their code written up. Did I tell y'all I got a ticket? Fishing ticket? Frank, have you always been like that, or is that an age thing? Because I feel like having, once I had kids, I required much less sleep than I did before. But then I crash like after a couple months. Barnes, I've got everything but, dude. I've got like 3,000 to 120, but I don't. All my 320 and 400 is gone because I use it the most and haven't re-upped. I need to. You know how when you go to the store, you always forget something. What's up, Brian? Like I usually, like if I go to Home Depot or Lowe's or something, I'll walk around and like I'll go in there and get what I need, but then I just wander aimlessly, and people always ask me, You need help finding something? No. I'm just walking until I figure out what it is I need. Like, oh, okay. Weird guy. I use all my grits. I use all my grits. The hundreds I don't. 220 very rarely. I started about 300 now. I will use up to 2,000 or 2,500. But the really abrasive stuff I don't use. I don't use too deep. Cuts too deep. But I should. I thought about it, and I'm like, I should wet sand these, but I really don't like wet sanding because I don't. I like the cut of dry sanding, but I like the and I like being able to see what's actually going on dry sanding, but I don't like the volume of sandpaper you go through when you're dry sanding. You got a ticket for fishing without my license on me. Yes, I did get a ticket for fishing without my fishing license, but the deal with it was I looked and I have an email from the state of Alabama that shows that I selected for my fishing license to auto renew, and it did not auto renew. That's why I didn't buy a fishing license. And Green Jeans didn't seem to care. I said, it's your shitty system, not my problem. I guess I could go to court and show them where I elected for their system to auto renew and that my card was still not expired or anything like that. What's up, Anthony? It is early today. Nate, what you been doing, dude? Nate had a good, Nasty Nate had a good native gill sesh not too long ago. Caught him a few little bass on it. It's always fun. Always fun getting pictures of your baits hung in fish's mouths. I told you it's weird. I don't like, I know I'm really bad about it, but it does I don't know. Like, I need to ask like Hella or somebody that films themselves fishing a lot. I could never get into that because it always took my mind out of fishing. Do any of y'all film your fishing trips? Because it seemed like every time you'd get going, you'd have to like dick with something. And see why I have tennis elbow? Could be. Could be. Oh, we do have a new compressor. So I could actually sandblast these with baking soda. And I think that would work just as good as this, maybe? I don't know. I'd like to try it, though. I barely eat while fishing. I can't imagine. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. I've been with like I guess I fished with Bama Bass, and he's about as big as at the especially at the time he was as big as any YouTuber on YouTube fishing. Um, like he was, I mean, when he started, he had more subs than the Googans, so they were trying to like catch up to him, but then they surpassed him. But so, but his approach was pretty simple. I mean, he'd run a couple GoPros and pick up the camera when he needed to. He made it look, I guess, because he'd been doing it so much. Um, when you're doing it so much, you make it like anything you're really good at or you've done a bunch, you make it look easy. And like watching his whole operation, I was like, that's it. That's how you amass 500,000 subscribers. I mean, I know it's more than that, but like it seemed pretty attainable. You know what I mean? Pretty attainable. Um, yeah, you can get Stephen can. I feel like Stephen can sing you a sweet lullaby and lull you to sleep during some of his videos. He has that kind of monotone voice that just is quiet and never gets excited and never gets. It's pretty flatlined. His frog videos were awesome. Especially that one where he was in the John boat and he was reeling that frog in, and that like 9-pounder came up and ate it at the boat. The fact that he was able to hook that fish is what was incredible. Um, and when he would do those, like when he would dangle the frog out of the cypress tree, that lake was in, I think that lake was in Marion, Alabama. Um, but yeah, you still people robbing his videos because there's a large volume of of content creators that just they take everything that is considered viral fishing content and then they just like re-release it like a year later, like months later or whatever. It's pretty it's a pretty grimy way to make content, but whatever. The short line bite. I'm trying to think what else is but I will say it was really, really enjoyable working with him because I knew if he was fishing something of mine, I would get to see it put to work. You know what I mean? And I would get to maybe see it in a video or a picture or something. Like I knew he was going to fish the stuff and we'd see it, which I don't get a lot of. But I don't like that's the whole point of this was like people fishing with your stuff and taking pictures of it. And like I'm the world's worst of going out like catching fish on baits that I've made, painted, whatever, and not documenting it because it's just like I don't know. You just want to like I just want to fish. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to take pictures, but and it's always like after the fact when I realize I should probably do this. So this is for everybody, not just me. Or if you're trying to take a picture of some bait maker's bait. But the good thing about taking pictures is for documentation of what you did that day and how you caught them and time of year and the bite you were on and that kind of stuff. Because I always forget that. Because you go back and you're like, oh yeah, we did go and catch them good in there one day. What time of year was that? I'm like, July. But if you'd have taken pictures with a bait stuffed down a fish's mouth, it would automatically take you back, and there's a timestamp on the picture, so you'd know. So it's kind of like having a diary of what you did, except it's in picture form on your phone. It's easy to pull back. You'll get a memory and be like, oh yeah, this on this day we caught them, and look what I was throwing. So that's when I got home Sunday. I was like, man, I should have taken more pictures, just for documentation of when and why. Already forgot what I caught last week, and I know it's hard to keep up. I used to, dude, like up until I feel like when I was fishing the most, my memory was the sharpest. But I was like 28. But from like 18 to 30, I could tell you everything. Like I remembered every pattern, and I didn't write shit down or take like I took pictures, but I could tell you, like I could go through my whole fishing album on my phone and tell you where every fish was caught, what it was caught on, time of year. Didn't need timestamps. Like I could tell you everything about it. But now people call me, like my buddies from that I fished with back in the day. They'd be like, "Man, you remember that time we caught him doing this?" I'm like, "Dude, I have no recollection of that." I'm like, really? I'm like, no, could not. When you fish every 3 years, it's easy to remember. Yeah, I can remember. I can probably remember more times when my shit broke down than when I actually caught them. So, but some people are good about documenting their fish, taking their time, slowing down. I mean, I feel like, I mean, how many casts does it take away from you to get down in the bottom of the boat, take a picture? What are you missing out on? 5 casts? I take a pic of the depth finder, then the fish with the lure in its mouth. That's smart, Anthony. That's smart. Had 22.5 pounds and finished 36th place. Where was that at? What Great Lake was that on? That's pretty awesome. 22 pounds and you're not even getting a handshake. Michigan Grand Traverse Bay. Wow. How long ago was that? Brendan, you went on quite a rant last night. Are you feeling okay? I thought your voice was going to get over 10 decibels and you were going to wake somebody up with your rant, bro. One week ago, 28.1. Wow. That was a lot of 23 to 27-pound bags. There's a lot of gigantic bags. For whatever reason, I can remember places and time of year I catch fish. I typically can, but there's some that really just show the frog. What frog? Did we talk about a frog? I can't even remember last night. What's the frog? I have lots of frogs. Oh no, I'm sanding them right now. Yeah, that is the good thing, Anthony. You can watch Brendan, and you don't have to worry about anybody getting a jolt of electricity. The balsa frog. AJ, I got you a box. This is going to you. Let's see. Balsa frog. I just had one. That one? Is that the frog you're talking about? So I know that's the one Burns is talking about. Ribbit. Caught a big one yesterday, about 22, guessing 5 plus maybe 6. Tom? What'd you catch it on? What and where? Shallow, deep, weeds, wood? We need to know. Oh, Brendan wanted to see the frog. It's just a little teeny little sweet looking frog. Oh, the hellion rising in the middle of the night. We had a good night last night. Nobody woke up in the middle of the night. I actually got to sleep on the couch in peace. Yeah, I know. Should be, Anthony. It was pretty joyous. It is a walking frog, but it's interesting because it's so short and fat that like it almost doesn't like it works so sharp it almost doesn't look like it's doing anything. Like you can hardly tell it's walking, but it is because it's like it's a little peanut. Nate, I have not been having because our couch is too short. I'm a I like I probably sleep in the worst position you could, but I like stuff under my neck, like lots of pillows like jammed up under my neck. So like my body's here and my head's like up here, like probably the worst way to sleep possible. But so I've got one of I sleep on the couch with Bean's big like stuffed animal ball, plushy ball thing. That's under me, and then I have a plush basketball pillow that I've had since middle school, and it fits like right there in my neck, and I'm just like, and but because of that, it puts me a little farther down on the couch because of my pillow situation. So my legs like stick up and they'll be like hanging off the side of the couch or like curled up. It's not the greatest. Um, 5 to 6 foot on some brush. No bait. Keeping that private. We do need a new couch. We don't need a new couch. I say we need a new couch. We need a longer couch, but I don't. With kids at the age of ours, a new couch would be atrocious because they would destroy it. So maybe a new used couch so they could throw up on it and wipe their hands on it and spill food on it and do whatever. But what are my thoughts on the Nessie? Well, it's obviously a ripoff. And Here's the deal with Berkeley doing whatever they want. The people who buy the Japanese version, flag, whatever, whatever it's called, the people who buy that are not Berkeley customers. They might be casual. They might pick up a bag of, power worms once every blue moon. But that guy is not Berkeley's target guy. So the guy that Berkeley will hopefully pick up on this, on the bait, will never know that bait previously existed. So it doesn't matter to them if it's a ripoff or not, because in their customers' eyes, it's Berkeley's. The internet has changed that a little bit, but still not enough that it matters. So they pretty much do whatever they want. Y'all talked about somebody made a comment about how do you know that they didn't try and make a deal. So say they did and said, hey, we'd like to work with you guys, and the deal didn't come to fruition. A company with a little bit of moral fiber would say, fair enough, no deal, we'll build another bait. We'll put that one on the back burner. But when you're a dirtbag, you say, we'll just build it anyway. Thanks for the consideration, but we don't need you. And I think that's the difference. Like me, if I'm trying to come out with that bait and those guys are like, we want this much money, I'm like, dude, I can't make that work. I'm like, well, that's the deal. It's like, all right, well, I guess we can't come to a deal. I'll just do something else. And the thing about Berkeley is Berkeley can do whatever else they want. That's the crazy part. But like, you know what I mean? They're supposed to be innovators. No, why would they want to give up money that they don't? Not the company certainly deserves it for their design. Would in 20 years would Berkeley have ever thought of that bait and come out with it? No, 100% not. If that bait never existed, Berkeley would never have it in this lineup. But I think it does stem because Ike is a big JDM nerd, and I think Ike just orders all this, stuff from over there, and he gets it and he sends it to Berkeley and says, "We need this. It's awesome." And they said, "Okay." I mean, I like the concept of the bait. There's a few things I would change. Like if I were to build that bait, I would build it a lot different. And when it came out, the light bulb would go off for a lot of people. But maybe I should come out with a flag bait, but do what Berkeley should have done and actually like modified it to do what it's supposed to do. But you think that thing's hot and trendy though? Like they got to be getting some. They got to get their info from somewhere. And I don't really feel like that bait's that trendy. Um, I mean, how many of those things do you think have been sold? It is that trendy. I mean, I feel like people buy it, but people aren't like jumping over people to like get them. Maybe they are. I don't know. I never see I never see the buzz over them that much. Um, but because I felt like they were like, didn't Universe? I felt like Universe had them. I thought Wayne had some, like a bunch of them, and like he still had them. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was still trying to sell them like weeks later. It wasn't like he was like, "Hey, I got these baits," and they were gone immediately. Um, that just seems a little. That just seems a little microscopic for. I mean, we're talking about a couple hundred selling out. Like I don't think that, to me, that's not on somebody like Berkeley's radar. Chads, CSs, that's on Berkeley's radar. You bet your sweet ass that they are shitting their pants, going, God, why didn't we do this? Why did we do this stupid flag bait? We should have made a glide. We're idiots. They're probably like, who's another builder that we can not make a deal with and rip their glide bait off? Which is good. I'm really glad about the Spro deal because it's like I feel like maybe companies now will see the value in what they did by doing it the right way and not the scummy way. Because I feel like they would have probably sold some for sure, but I don't think they would have sold near the amount as they have if they didn't partner with it with KGB. So because everybody's happy, Kevin's happy, Spro's happy, everybody's happy. The market is happy. The people getting the baits are happy. You don't have any disgruntled people going, "Oh, Spro did him wrong. He's a dirtbag." Like everybody is like proud and happy for what happened because it was done the right way, and it makes the market happy. People are excited about it. There's no like negativity around it. Like everything's, besides having to see it constantly and my negativity, uh, what it did for the market was great, and like how everything panned out is awesome. But had they just went and said, yeah, we don't need you, we're gonna do this on our own, uh, then you've got a large population of people that would be their customers that are like, dude, y'all suck. And they're going to be on the internet every day on every post saying Spro's a bunch of dirtbags. Yeah, Berkeley can't afford to do collabs because they got too many pro staffers. If Strike King ripped a Hinkle shed off, would anybody really be mad? Probably not. Probably not. But you don't have to worry about Strike King doing it. 6th Sense is already doing it, so they beat him to the punch. Got to pay their scientists. It's science. So yeah, I don't know. It's the fishing industry is such, like, the big players. It's such, like, it's just a bunch of companies that just, you can smell the desperation because they aren't innovative, and they aren't anything. They have pros that market their stuff. They're marketing agencies that are just like waiting. They're here's a good way to put it. They are reactive, not proactive. They don't invent and change the market. They wait for the market to change, and then because of their resources and their ability to be able to produce a product and have it manufactured quickly, they can capitalize on it. I guess it's like high levels of trading, like commodities and stocks and stuff. Like, once you get to a certain level and you have enough money, and you just kind of, you just play the waiting game. Berkeley does need pro staffers. How else are you going to sell all that shit, dude? If Berkeley didn't have pro staff, then nobody would know about Berkeley. If Berkeley didn't have pro staff, you wouldn't know about that flag bait because Mike Iaconelli wouldn't have posted it, and nobody cares. We wouldn't be having this conversation. Brennan, you got a long way to learn about marketing, bro. The difference is everybody might know about Berkeley, but everybody won't care about Berkeley. That's the difference. That is the difference. Everybody knows about Wunker City. Does anybody care about Wunker City? No. There's thousands of companies that people know about but don't care about. That is why that is where those guys come into play. People know 6th Sense, but they care about 6th Sense because of people like Maine, people like Ben Milliken, people like Bateman. They're all talking about them. They mean something. They keep it relevant. But if nobody was talking about Berkeley, like, I mean, here's a prime example. Picasso. Picasso makes great products. Does anybody care about Picasso? Not really. You know about the only time I cared about Picasso was in it when Aaron Martens was using their shit. And he was one guy. A-Mart. Exactly. One dude. And he made me care about Picasso and like look at Picasso a little closer. Bateman is a 6th Sense infomercial, but whatever. There's plenty of them. Can't hate on him. I mean, you just don't watch. It's easy. Don't watch or listen, but like I mean, with the exception of, I'm trying to think. Unless you have a product like the Chatterbait. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like the difference is, like, because of their pro staff, people connect with companies. like Berkeley, like Strike King, like they want to feel like part of the team, right? Like Van Dam, when they throw Strike King baits, they feel like I'm Team Strike King. I'm with Van Dam. You know what I mean? Like we're we're on the same page. Um, Same with like Sixth Sense. It's a community cult like thing. That's what you have to build. You have to know, you know, that people feel it makes them feel a certain way to be using a product that all their other people are using, and then they feed off of each other, and it turns into a monster. Um, uh, but like, I feel like a company like Z-Man, like people use their products because they sell a few good things, like the Ned and the Jackhammer. But I don't feel like people care about the Z-Man. Like people are passionate about Sixth Sense. People are passionate about Berkeley. People are passionate about Strike King, whatever, missile baits. But besides that, I mean, if you don't have people marketing your stuff like pros and stuff, nobody cares about you. Um, how long do you think it takes Berkeley to get a bait idea and put it on the shelf? I have a friend that works at Repellent, and they are working on stuff 2 years out. Yeah, I think that is the general rule in the market, is that you need to have stuff 2 years in the shoot. Um, um, do I think it would take them that long? No. Um, I don't think it's them. I don't think it's them tweaking baits. I probably think it's more sourcing materials that might need to go in the bait, tooling, that kind of thing. That would take long. But like what they did with that flag bait, like that didn't take that damn long. Um, I mean, I would bet every popper on this table that didn't take 2 years. Um, but yeah, but I mean, they have the ability to prototype everything there. They can 3D print. They can do everything at their facility. So they can. I feel like Berkeley is a large enough manufacturer that they have everything done. Like they're not sending like rough shit to China and being like, "Can you kind of figure this out?" And like we'll go through some prototypes of it. Um, Berkeley's set up to do it all. Strike King, probably not. I don't think they have those capabilities in house. Um, sure, you can, Brennan. You 3D print you a mold and you shoot it full of plastic, and then you have a plastic worm. They can do that shit in one day. Have a working prototype of whatever flavor bait they want. Ike handed Berkeley a flag and said, "Make this in 6 months." He was fishing prototypes. I believe that. I believe that. Lunker City. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm trying to think of Lunker City. I think the difference with Lunker City was Lunker City probably have. I think Lunker City probably had like small scale deals with people, but I don't know if they ever had that guy with like Lunker City across his chest, or like a big, like a boat wrap. And as dumb as it seems, people remember that stuff. You know what I mean? Like people remember that, like, and it doesn't seem that meaningful, but like oh, Zach Burge, he's the Ozeri guy. You know what I mean? Like in 5 years when you think about, oh, who was throwing Yozuri back then? Like, oh, Zach Burns was. But I don't know anybody that I can think of that's like Lunker City Pro. Maybe Charlie Ingram. He seems Lunker City-ish. Let's see. Let's look and see if they have a section on their website. Lunker City. I like the name. Lunker City. Brandon Card, Fiozuri, yeah. I don't know. I think Lunker City actually makes some pretty cool stuff. But like I said, they don't have anybody that promotes it. I would like to know who owns Lunker City. Custom lures. Lunker City sells 3D fish eyes now. Huh. How about that? 3mm, 4mm, and 5mm. Big mistake, Lunker City. You missed a giant opportunity for 5.5mm, which is on a shit ton of baits. N6. But there's nowhere on their website that's like, meet our pros, who we are. They're from Connecticut. Yeah, they make a panhead jig. Casey, that's pretty cool. McKee Outdoors has got the coal shads. Of course they do. They've got it all. They have it all. I mean, I'd like to know what that does to like if I'm sure Megabass will feel it. When you're the only show in town selling, a mag draft, and then in the course of a few months you have 4 other shows in town showing your same movie. It's gotta cut into their side of the market, which is what's so lame to me. That's what I hate. Like, I hate follow the leader. That is like everything against like my being is like the opposite of that. And like the industry that I'm in that I love so much is like the biggest like follow the leader industry there is. It's pathetic. And I think it's only as pathetic as when you have claims that we are like leaders of the industry. It's like, you're not leaders of shit, dude. Y'all aren't leaders of anything. It will, Burns. It will. But the good thing about it is it's so obvious that it's gonna be hard to hide this one. Keep it secret. Don't show it off. Just catch boatloads of bass on it. Enjoy yourself. Or we'll see the Berkley version in 6 months. Why does everyone want to reel the mag draft faster? Yeah, I mean, it was the same. It was the same for the Bass Pro Shops Steve Kennedy swimmer. Like why didn't Bass Pro Shops partner with Steve Kennedy for like a one-time deal, not like a full partnership like Bass Pro Shops, like because he wasn't going to go speak at seminars and do that kind of shit and play their game and show up at the spring sale in Spanish Fort, Alabama and do like a seminar. Like that ain't Steve Kennedy's style. But like, why didn't somebody in their sales department say, Steve, we'd like to do this bait again. We want to do it right. We want you to approve it. And maybe we'll do like a Steve Kennedy approved Bass Pro Shops 6-inch swimmer. They didn't do that. They come out with it. It sucks. And nobody cares about them. Nobody wants them. But had they done it right, people would have talked about them. People would have got excited about them again. And I think a lot of people would have tried them. That now the only buzz you hear about them is how shitty they are. Like they you don't hear anything about them because they suck. So I don't understand. I can't make myself understand. Like I feel like the crumbs that Bass Pro Shops would have to give Steve Kennedy to kind of make that deal work. In the grand scheme of how many of those they could have sold across all their stores would have been pretty large. I don't know. I don't know what makes these companies tick. Do we place bets on who copies the popper? Domestic big company, overseas company, or small American bait company? First, it'll be small American bait company. I don't know if any big names would pick it up. Not for a while. Burns, you may send this one to China. Y'all want an ABS version? Funny I mentioned that because when I went and met with Casey at 6 Cents, he's like, "Do you want to?" It's like, I know you don't want to paint your whole life. He's like, "You want to?" He said, "You thinking about getting into the hard bait side, like the manufactured side?" And it's like, "Oh, of course." He's like, "Takes a lot of money." It's like, okay. And I said, "Yeah, I'd really like to have this. I've got this topwater. I'd like to get done first." In his infinite wisdom, he said, "Why the fuck do you want to do that?" I said, "Because it's a really cool bait." And he's like, "Mm-mm." And I was like, "What?" He said, "People don't lose topwaters." So, yeah. It's like, not a good first one. So, some truth to that. So there is some truth to that. People don't lose topwaters. You know what they do lose a lot of? Lipless baits. You know how many of those they have? No, native gill still floats. People don't lose those either. If you want baits that people lose, it needs to sink or go under the water to the point where you can't see it. If I rip off your popper to the T, you've got to give me props. I don't know if I don't know if Builder Dude is giving props for rip-offs. Burns doesn't seem like a pat on the back for ripping him off kind of guy. Yeah, I feel like that's the only way. But Jeremy, you have to admit there's probably been an insane amount of cast it off swim baits. A lot. A lot. I mean, that's got to be 90% of how swim baits get lost. I mean, hell, I've watched Ben Milliken cast off a couple grand worth of swim baits just watching his dumb YouTube videos, and I don't even watch all of them. I watched the one up there at Wheeler, and I think he slung a couple off just in the damn couple videos I watched of him up there. But go to Lake Fork or Ivy if they get drained. Yeah, you would probably have a heyday. It was, but you brought it to life, Burns. Castaic Lake or the bait company. There's a company that made cool stuff way back in the day that nobody cares about. I think Boyd made them. I think Boyd made people hate Castaic. I think Boyd sunk Castaic. Talk about ugly baits. Good googly moogly. Butch says he lost like 23 250s in one day. Come on, dude. How is that possible? And the other thing is who keeps 25 250s on them? Like, even if you're a swim bait guru, even if you're Butch Brown, why on earth would you have 25 250s? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Because if I'm going fishing and I'm packing my bag, I'm not, you're not like, you know what? I might lose 20 something swim baits today. Let me go ahead and bring 30. No, I mean, at the most, hey man, maybe I'll lose a couple baits today. I'll bring 10. Get some different colors, different sink rates, whatever. Parks and goes back home. Yeah, I guess if you're going to the garage and plucking new baits and going back, at what point do you just like load? I mean, after about the second trip, do you just load up the whole garage and put it in your boat and be like, screw it, I'm bringing everything. HUD 250, his gill and his spinnerbaits are all he throws. I didn't know he had a gill, and I didn't know he had a Butch Brown spinnerbait. What is that? He throws the 175 on 12? Does Butch still put out like informative videos? I mean, obviously, like is what y'all are telling me? Are these recent like couple-year-old stories, or are these like new or old? I want to look at his spinnerbait, but he has never showed it or talked about it. Brennan, you can't tell me you haven't slid in Butch's DMs and say, "Let me see that spinnerbait, bro." Butchie, Butchie, let me peep that spinnerbait. Let me get a little sneak peek. Butchie, baby, walk out to the 10 rig. Let me get a little flash of the spinner plug. I want to see it. Never even looked. So it's a soft gill. This his gill he pours on his own. Is it hard? Is it resin or is it soft plastic? I wonder why he doesn't use the HUD gill. So many questions for Butch. I mean, not really, but kind of. His gill is soft plastic, but it's pretty sweet. Does he not do that anymore? Because I remember when I was in Austin, there was a lot of guys sending him stuff. I believe Butch came to Austin and swim baited in Lake Austin. I believe there was a dude in Austin that got him to come out and fish with him. I don't know that it's ever been documented, but I do believe he made his way to Austin. 10-pounders are gone in his lakes. So now he's putting everything out there. Might as well, right? Because that was, I mean, I feel like technique in catching them is all good and grand, but it's worthless if you don't have them, right? Like if you have the most big bass knowledge of anybody on the planet, but you have no big bass, what good is your information? It's not. It's worthless. It's worthless. Yeah, what's Butch's website so we can go snoop around? If I was on StreamYard, we could get on it and all look together. I need to get off of here. My pile is not getting any smaller any quicker. I feel like it hasn't moved. But I am going over these with a fine-tooth comb so they look beautiful. So they look beautiful. Well, Brennan's searching. Go watch the Cast to Catch podcast he's on. He acts like he's got 20 years worth of videos. I will. Maybe I'll do that here in a minute while I finish sanding these baits so I can go into speed sanding mode instead of reading and storytelling mode. Which I haven't been telling many stories, but you know what I mean. Interactive mode. Who won his boat when he gave away his boat? Did they ever do that? I never saw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, not much. I'm gonna have to go find me some new 220 by the time this is over. This paper cuts so much better than that other crap. Please get the poppers done. Picked up a couple extra clients today, hoping to get my hands on them. There you go. There you go. There you go. New clients are always good. Congratulations, Anthony. Stack up the clients. Load them up. All right. Everybody get back to work. Be productive. Let me get back to work and be productive and get these poppers straightened out, and I will get some, hopefully we'll try and get some paint on them today. If I can get them sanded. So maybe I'll get them, I'll at least get them to the point with eyeballs, and then I can clear coat them tomorrow. A dude from Kentucky won the boat, bought one ticket. The golden ticket. There you go. All right, dudes. You have a good rest of your day. I will keep everybody posted. Campers. On the poppers. Y'all be good. Talk to you next time. See you.